Hey guys, welcome back to Klaus Outdoors. Today we got Richard's bow, and we're gonna do a little bit of a revamp on it. It's an older bow. It's a Martin Jaguar Pro, and man, I've had it over here for a little while. We've been kind of going through it, seeing what all it needs, and we're gonna put some new strings on it and get it all taken care of for them, get it ready so you can start shooting it for this upcoming bow season. This is the bow. It's a pretty nice looking bow. I like it. It's an older bow, but I think once we get it all taken care of, get the right arrows set up for them and everything, we'll be good to go. But this is it here. It's pretty cool. It's got it's an older bow, but it's still got the dual cams on it like the new ones do. I do like that setup. I think it makes for a better bow. But it's the Jaguar Martin. And man, I love these old bows, how they still have the wooden handle on them. You just don't see that anymore. And there's nothing like those wooden handles. They fit your hands better than any modern stuff. Any modern stuff does. I do like that. It's got a whisker biscuit setup on it, and it's got an older sight on it too. These strings will probably be all right, but they're so old. I think it's just time to go ahead and swap them out for some new ones. It's got a couple little things on it, and it doesn't have a D loop on it. I thought that was different. Everything I've ever shot, we've always had a D loop. I know it has a nose button to kind of help out, but we're gonna get them strings swapped out, and we're gonna put a D loop on it, and we're gonna get a new arrow rest. My brother had an older bow, and he offered to hook Richard up with this really nice QAD drop away rest, and we're going to put it on this bow, kind of help out. And Richard got him some America's Best bowstrings. We got them ordered, and these are sweet, man. It's got the little cards in here. It's got the Martin Jaguar Pro. It's got the links, and then the person that made them, I couldn't believe that. The person that made them, that was cool. And he went with the green and kind of an off brown color, kind of like a camouflage. I think it's gonna look good on this bow, especially with this bow being camo. And then of course he hooked us up with a brand new Trophy Ridge 4-pin sight. It's got the level in there and everything. I think it's gonna work out good. It's gonna look good on this bow. But I'm going to start tearing this thing down. We'll get it on this bow press, get it compressed, and we'll start taking these strings off, pop these new strings on there. And I got a peep sight too, off my old bow that I'm going to throw on here. That's one thing with this bow. It's an older bow, and we're going to try to not go all out with it. I don't want to spend, have them spend $700-800 on this bow just because it's an older bow. I think we can get this thing tuned up and nice with the things that we have here around the house. That way, you don't have to drop that kind of money. I mean, you can get a brand new, Barry compound bow nowadays for $500-600. So I think we can get this thing tuned up and shooting good for less than that. Kind of like a budget bow, but not super budget. We can still have some really nice parts on this thing. Get it good and shooting right. So I'm gonna take y'all along and get this bow set up on this bow press and start getting it tore down. All right, guys, we got this bow set up on the bow press. I'm gonna start compressing it so we can start taking these strings and cables off. So that way we can go ahead and get the new ones put on here. All right, it should be good. I think I'm gonna start by taking the main string off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these strings off and I'm going to set them on this table. And I'm going to make sure I put the new ones back on in the same orientation. That way nothing really gets mixed up. So you got them just like this. Alright, so it come off the bow like that. I'm gonna take it and I'll set it straight back here on the table. Then what we'll do is, so that's the string, and you got 2 cables that go with it. And what I'll do is take these cables off, and I'll probably replace them one at a time because they overlap in the middle, and they got this little bracket that slides up and down. So probably gonna do one of those at a time so I don't get them mixed up. And what's cool about these new strings, the manufacturer put these paper clips on them, and they put them on there so the strings don't twist, because all strings are twisted. So if they didn't put the paper clips on the ends, these would either, because you want your cables to be the same length on both ends to at least start before you tune the bow. So if they don't have the paper clips on there, they can untwist or twist more during packaging and shipping or whatever, and you don't want that. So when you do take the paper clips off to put them on the bow, try not to spin them in either direction. We may do it later on to tune the bow, but right now it'd be a good starting point to make sure they're both the same length when you put them on the bow. So that's why they put those paper clips on there. But yeah, I think I'm gonna start with this one. And it looks like it's on the bottom. And it goes through here. And same thing with these. I'm gonna take them and lay them back here in the same direction that they come off of, just in case I need to know for some reason. Alright, get the first cable on here. That's gonna go under the old one. Alright. We got one of the cables on. I'm gonna pop this other one off, and we'll put that second cable on there. These strings are gonna look good on this bow. Alright, get the next one on here. Alright, got the cables on. Now I'm gonna put the main string on. Your drawstring. And on this drawstring, it's got this little bitty piece of wire, or a little bitty piece of string on here. I think y'all can see it. But that marks the separation between the string, the halfway point. And you never want to pull that out, because that will mark the spot you need to put your peep in, so that you'll be able to aim properly. If you pull that string out, you're going to be sitting here trying to separate all those strands in that string, trying to find the halfway point to be able to put that peep in. If you leave it in there, all you gotta do is pull it apart and put your peep in. It makes it real easy. And you want your peep, you want that peep going to the upper part of the bow, if that makes sense. Alrighty. Alright, you got the cables, you got the string on here, and now the last thing we're going to do is I'm going to hold this back as high as I can, and then I'm going to release this press. And that's going to put all the pressure on it. While I'm releasing this press, I want to try to make sure all the strings stay in the tracks and everything like they're supposed to. That way, once it gets completely released, everything's where it needs to be. So. Alrighty. She's got new strings on her. She's all hooked up, ready to go. I love that color. You can see how that's the peep sight marker I was telling you about. That way we'll know where to put our peep in. But man, those strings look good on that bow. I think what I'm gonna do now is get this press set up vertical to where I can stand it up and draw it back on the press, and that way we'll be able to just make sure everything's working properly like it should. And then after that, I'll work on getting the work on getting the D-loop put in there, and go ahead and put the arrow rest and sight on there also. We got it set up on this bow draw, and I'm gonna throw just a dummy arrow in there, just in case, man. I know we're in the house. I know it's set up to it shouldn't dry fire, but I always like to be extra careful. So before we draw this thing back, I'm gonna go ahead and throw an arrow on it. I'm gonna draw it back and make sure that all the strings are where they need to be on the cams at full draw, and then we're gonna go ahead and drop it back down so we can finish working on it. Alrighty, that's looks like it's just about full draw. Everything's looking pretty good. Yeah, I think that's right at full draw. So I'm gonna check and I'm gonna see how in tune the bow is with these strings. I'm gonna check the draw stops to make sure they're both hitting on both ends while I got this thing drawn back. Looks like the top draw stop is here. Let me see if I can get y'all some better light. So the top draw stop is fully engaged there, but once you get down to the bottom, you can see there is a gap. There's a gap in between that string and that draw stop, so the top is hitting before the bottom by quite a bit. So I think what I'm gonna do now is I need to put it back in the press and see if I gotta figure out what cables to shorten to make that draw stop equal on both sides. I'll have to figure out which ones. I might just have to play with it. You gotta take one of these cable ends off, twist it in one direction, and close that draw stop, or close that gap up so that it's equal. You want these cams to be tuned to where they shoot at the same rate. You don't want one going quicker than the other. So I'm gonna let her down and play with them strings or the cables a little bit, see if I can figure it out. Alright, I've been messing with it for a little bit. I figured out which cable to turn, and we got that gap. Let's grab this light. You got the gap there on that draw stop closed up, about as good as it's gonna be on both the ends. You can kind of see there too. That cable's resting on it at full draw, so that's what we're wanting. It means the cams are gonna be in tune for the most part, and I think the next thing we'll do is work on getting us a D-loop installed, and make sure everything's level, make sure we can get the arrow rest level with the arrow, and go from there. So we'll get that arrow rest slapped on there, the new one, the QAD, and get us a D-loop tied on. We got the strings on here, got it all set up. I'm gonna go ahead and take this older sight off, and then I'm gonna take this whisker biscuit off. That way we can go ahead and get the new sight on and the new drop away rest. I think me going and getting the new sight on is going to kind of help me level the bow, because it's got a sight or a level in there in the new sight. So I'm going to use that when I try to level everything out and get it ready to put the D-loop, tie the D-loop on. I'm going to probably put it in here somewhere, but got the bolt started, so we're gonna go ahead and get this tightened down. Not a whole lot of threads on that, so I'm not gonna tighten the mess out of it. Let's see. I think that'll be good enough. Just snug it up. And once we get it all taken care of, what I'll do is I'll split these strings or these cables, and I'll slide this piece of string in there so that whenever you draw the bow back, it'll put tension on this, the drop away, and it'll raise it up every time you draw the bow back. And then when you fire, it will pop out pop back out of the way like that to release the arrow. It's pretty cool. It's a lot different from the Whisker Biscuit, to where the arrow on the Whisker Biscuit just slides through these little whiskers. These are nice, but something like the drop away, once you fire your bow, man, there ain't nothing touching that arrow as it goes through there. I actually prefer that over the Whisker Biscuit. Keeps your bow a little bit more accurate. But got that on there. I think I'm gonna take this sight off now and swap it out to the new Trophy Ridge sight that Richard got. It come with new hardware, but I think the original hardware is a little bit longer, and I think that's what we're gonna end up doing, is using the original hardware on it, especially since it has to go through this bracket to screw into the riser. Alrighty, got the new sight on, got the new drop away rest on. Let me get this thing spun around so y'all can see it from the other side here. It's a pretty cool setup. The sight's nice. I like how that 4-pin sight works. I think it's pretty sweet. Like I said, we got the drop away rest, and this will flip up and your arrow will rest in there on that felt. So I'm getting it dialed in. I think the next thing is I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna attach it to the cable. That way it operates like it should. And after that, we'll get this thing all leveled up, and I'll go ahead and tie us a D-loop in so we have a place for the arrow. All right, we got this thing in this jig. Got it all tightened down. What I've done is I've made it to where the drawstring is perfectly level, or close to being perfectly level, this direction and this direction. So that way I know that this string is perfectly level, perfectly vertical up and down. And what I'm gonna do next is I also get a level on this arrow, and with the I got a arrow level on this arrow too, and with the rest in the up position, I can actually level that level on the arrow to where it's level, and that will tell me where I need to mark for my nock, or for my D-loop, so that the nock will be and the arrow will be perfectly level coming out of the bow. So that's what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna use just a Sharpie. I'm gonna level that arrow again, use a Sharpie and mark on that string where I need to tie that D-loop in. Alrighty, we got us nice D-loop tied on there. I think it'll work out good. Got the opposite knots tied. I think it's gonna turn out pretty good. I did use some pliers, use these tools to kind of make it extra tight, to kind of make sure it don't slip or rotate as Richard uses it. But we got that taken care of, man. And I think all that's left that I'm gonna do now is all I'm gonna do next is probably test the draw weight on this thing. I think we're gonna set it to about 60 pounds. That way it'll be a good starting point for them. But I'm gonna draw this thing back and see what it's reading. We're gonna use the Last Chance Archery draw weight tester. And I'm just gonna turn it on and clear it out. This thing's set real light. It's 47 pounds right now. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but we're gonna tighten it up a little bit so we can get it up to 60 pounds. And the key to increasing the draw weight on these is you want to increase the top bolt the same amount of turns as the bottom bolt. You don't want to do 2 turns, the other 1 turn or whatever. You want to increase them at the same amount. So what I'm gonna do is count these as I do them. So we're gonna go, boy, these are tight. It's 1 full turn on the top. That's 1 full turn on the bottom. So we'll see how much it went up with just 1 turn. Well, didn't go up much, got up to 50. I think I'm gonna turn it up a couple more turns on each, and then we'll try again. Oh yeah, can't beat the 58 or 59.8. That'll be perfect for Richard. So, alrighty. Other than that, we got Richard, got your bow set up for you, man. I think the only thing left we're gonna have to do, once you're here in person, we'll have to get you a peep sight dialed in. I want to make sure it's perfect for you. I don't want to have it too high or too low. I want to tie it in to where it's perfect. Other than that, we got to make you some arrows and probably get you like a rangefinder and a release. But man, other than that, you're gonna be ready. You're gonna be set, ready to do some hunting, some practicing, and we'll go from there. It's a real smooth shooting bow. I think it's gonna end up being nice. But yeah, thank y'all for joining. This is our first bow build, and I'm just happy to get this thing ready for Richard. That way he can get some practice in and do a little bit of bow hunting this season. Next little project we're gonna be doing, this will be like a little hint for y'all, or a little tease. But this is my bow. It is a RX-7 Ultra. It's a Hoyt. I got it all set up for Total Archery Challenge I shot a couple years ago, and I'm gonna kind of take certain things off. I got this real long stabilizer and rear stabilizer on it, and I think what we're gonna do for this upcoming deer season is strip it back down, take the stabilizers off, and put my quiver, my hunting quiver, back on, so that we'll have it ready for deer season. And man, I'll start shooting it and getting it dialed back in for me, and we'll do a little bit of broadhead testing, that kind of stuff too. But this is Richard's bow, and this is what he'll be shooting this season. And I appreciate y'all sticking around. Y'all don't forget to like, sub, and hit that little bell icon. That way, you know, when I post these videos, post these shorts and videos, that y'all be able to know. And yeah, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this content, and we're gonna start getting into the hunting stuff. Hunting season's right around the corner. So y'all have a good day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.